Hello, welcome to McKinley. You'll never guess what, the team is going to a model railway show in Southampton on July the 23rd. If you fancy meeting the team, watch on. We prepared the following video for the original show we were going to attend in January of this year, but the college cancelled the show for obvious reasons. But Southampton Club have managed to pull off getting a date on the 23rd of July at the usual place, which is Barton Peveril College at Eastleigh, and so we're going to show the original video with a couple of edits where necessary. I hope you enjoy. We have been attending, as the team from McKinley, a lot of railway shows for the last 10 years. More frequently, what we've been doing is supporting the local clubs down on the south coast of England, namely the Pool Club and the Southampton Club with their shows. But for those of you who don't know us, haven't met us, I would like to give you a quick resume of what we're actually going to be doing at the show. A lot of you will know us already from that show, and it'll be good to see you again. It's been 2 years since we've met people and our friends, and it'll be lovely to catch up and see how you're doing. What we're doing as a team is we have this demonstration board here behind me. This featured in video number 32, where we talked about block control or block detection on a computer-controlled model railway, and I gave an insight into how it works. And this whole arrangement here is for that purpose. When we started this process of going to exhibitions to teach people about DCC and also computer control, that was what our mission was about. We originally started with just the Digitrax kit, and then after a couple of years people would say to us, well, does it work with lens? Does it work with ESU? And we realized we didn't know those things. And so we set off on a mission to understand how those systems would work. And a lot of the distributors were very kind. Coastal DCC with Kevin Dickerson, he was great. He provided us with a lot of kit. Southwest Digital provided us with the ESU equipment, and so on and so on. So there were lots of good contributors. And so what we did is we modified the board that we have here. And basically there are two panels here that we mount onto this test track, and that what's on there allows you to control this railway from a computer. One thing you should understand is, although this is relatively small physically, it actually embodies all the principles of computer control that we use on McKinley Railway here. And if you were to stretch these blocks on here a bit bigger, you'd actually fill a garage with just what we've got here. So it's a miniaturized form of McKinley that fits in the back of my car. That's why it's this size. We adapted it so that we could use Digitrax, and we have things. And I've got another board here, just shows you. So this is a board for the NCE equipment that we used. And it's a plug-for-plug match and replacement for the Digitrax board that's there. So if we had two boards on here, we would have the NCE board number 2 and the board number 1 would replace these two Digitrax boards. And so we learned how all these different digital systems, how you could use these digital systems reliably to run computer-controlled trains. So we'll have this demonstration board there at the show. We'll have a number of these pods there, typically the NCE one, the Z21 and the ECOS one. We have got information on lens and all the other popular makes if you want to come along and meet us for the first time. We also use that venue as an opportunity if clubs and groups of individuals would like to come down here and meet us and come and see what we're building. When we last attended in 2020, in January 2020, we had quite a full diary planned for the remainder of that year, and it was really sad that that thing got canned in. And I've just elected, as of this video, Bernie is going to be our social secretary, and he's going to be making diary events for people. So if you want to come along and visit us here at McKinley and have a go running trains, then come down and see us. In addition to the computer control, the block detection, the different DCC systems, the digital systems, that's easier, isn't it, to say on the tongue, we've been experimenting with this train tracking using RFID. The analogy that I make about this technology, RFID, is that we all use it every day. When you go along and buy a bottle of milk or a tub of milk, whatever you call it, from Tesco's, you put your card down and you just swipe your card, you waft your card on the reader, and there's a transaction that happens. And somehow Tesco's knows to take money from your bank account, all because of the information that was held on that card. That card isn't alive, it doesn't have a battery, it's inert. That's the same technology that we are deploying here at McKinley to track our trains. So to that end, we built a demonstration board, reutilizing 2 of the pods we have, and we intend to take that to the show to display how that technology could be used by ordinary folk with normal railways. So come and have a look. Here we've got the 2 pods that are going to form part of the train tracking RFID demonstration area. It's quite a simple construction. We have 2 sidings down here with 1 point. The track will go all the way through to 2 more sidings down there. We'll be putting train tracking RFID detectors at numerous points around here, so that when you move a train from one siding to another, on the screen it will show you what it's doing and where they are. So you should be able to see it. It should keep track of where things are going to. If I pull away now and just think about, well, what are the applied uses? And so we talked around the broad community that we know here and said, when would you like to know how things are going? And by the way, this has no specific links to DCC. It's not digital, it's not analog. It can be used with any system, with any layout. And we've even got detectors that would go between the tracks on an existing layout. The first one, the classic one, Gordon Edgar, he has a layout with some friends called Gorberton Blimey. And that is a classic shunting puzzle layout. And so it would be an interesting candidate to put train tracking or wagon tracking on. And so we're going to have a little section on there about how it might be used there. The Wimborne Club with Clive Finder, they've got a demonstration layout which will actually be at Southampton this year. And this has a fiddle yard at the back of the layout, and it has through trains that are running, continuous running circular layout, sort of classic thing for shows. One of the things that Clive identified was that they would like to see in which track is the express to Poole or Bournemouth hiding in at the fiddle yard on the back. So that would be another straightforward example. And by the way, that's an analogue layout as well. And then you've got McKinley's world, and there we're just going to show you an example of what's happening at Wakefield, which we've been talking about, that's just got installed here. This shows you how we're going to be going with the RFID for our layout, for our purposes. So you'll see 3 different scenarios on the information sheets and be able to have a play with this technology yourselves and look at the tags, look at how it's fixed to the wagons, and it might be of interest. We'll also have a crib sheet that shows you where you can go and get all this stuff and experiment for yourselves. If you're free that weekend and you fancy catching up with us, if you haven't seen us for a couple of years, we'd love to meet you again. We've enjoyed those sessions at Southampton. So if you can make it, please come along. We'd love to see you. Thank you.